Hello, hi, welcome to our second session, a very important session, and third and last part of our series on acceptance or the power of acceptance. The title of today's session is personal responsibility in connection with the acceptance. So much influential that topic could be in your future life. And this session can prove a life-changing session because you are going to learn a couple of things from this session in next 30 minutes. Number one, that what is my personal responsibility of practicing the idea of acceptance. Is the acceptance is just an idea or is a reality? That we will learn as well. How we can avoid our past or avoid future's fears as well. That is going to be covered in this session as well. We covered this thing in our first session as well, but this session is more in a deep and thoughtful way as well. Also, how we can heal our past. There are so many approaches we must do and learn all approaches as well, and that is going to be a learnful experience for you in this session. And how what are the important activities in spiritual dimension or the religious dimensions you could take, you can do, and that would give you the immense incremental advantage in your life. So that's also we're going to learn. Also, if you have any physical or problem in your body, how you can heal them through your mental or spiritual or emotional or psychological intelligences. So that's also you're going to learn as well. If you have a negative feelings, so how you are going to change it, we will discuss some again life changing techniques and the thought as well. Also, if what is the importance of consciousness, what is the importance of self awareness, which are huge topic itself, but we will touch these things as well. Also, what is the significance of important the classic literature in spirituality or in religion, or the scientific research in order to make our life ideal as well. So also how we can live in present, that's more importantly, because we don't live in our present. We unfortunately either live with our past or we live with the fears of future or goals of future. We don't live in present. So we will learn from this session how we can live in our present to make and create our life what we want to do with the power of acceptance. So it's going to be exciting, isn't it? So let's start it. I'm your host, Maratib Ali Shad, and I will help you to achieve and make you understand with your contribution, with your sharing, with some reading from the book, that how we can do this. So before we going to our session, I would ask you, I would ask and request you if you can join my YouTube channel. There will be a link under below somewhere. Also, you can subscribe my blog as well, which is on website is maratibalishad.com, where I do post insightful content as well. So, what we are reading today, this is a reading from our favorite author, psychiatrist, and doctor, and a guru, a mentor, and a spiritual leader, Dr. David Hawkins. His famous book, Letting Go, The Path of Surrender. That book is guiding us throughout from last couple of months in different dimensions of our life. And we will read our third and the last paragraph from this book, and we will try to understand the things which I mentioned earlier as a learning objectives of today's class session today. I would request also you can invite your friend and family and colleagues to our classes. This is absolutely free, and more importantly, these are going to change your thinking, which can influence on your future life and also the present life. So let's start our reading. I would always take help from my Zoom audience. If you are watching me on Facebook, you can also come on Zoom and share my computer screen with you, where you will have more interactive learning experience as well. So let's start our reading for today. It's only three small paragraphs. Mostly we will discuss different ideas from that uh, topic. And I would request you, if you can engage a conversation or dialogue, that will be more helpful for us for learning and for really apply new things in our life. So, what is meant by personal responsibility in context with acceptance? So, let's start to read it. I would request Cynthia if you can start reading, please, for us.
Hallmark of this state is the taking of responsibility for our own consciousness. Interest in meditation and the various methods of inner contemplation is common. Spiritual and ethical matters become important. We may, for instance, attend religious retreats if we are religious. We may engage in spiritual or humanitarian endeavors if we are oriented toward those spheres. The world is seen to be harmonious, and any alteration of that appearance is realized to be a projection onto it of our own inner conflicts. On this level, there is an awareness that all negative feelings are our own problem, and there is no longer looking outside of ourselves for their resolution.
Thank you. It's a great reading. Now I'm going to share with you a very secret. We learned from this text that all our negative feelings about others are not from others, not blame others, but these all are problems which we see, the all faults which we see in my external world, in my outer world, in other people's are actually my own. It is my own perception. It is my own fault in my lack of self awareness that I try to project upon external reality there. When I have a conflict with my wife, when I have conflict with my husband, with my children, with my friend, with my boss, with my employee, that I tend to blame them for the responsibility of the situation, rather than to taking my responsibility, my participation to making the situation more worse. And that is the problem with everyone in our today's complex world. It tends to be that the other peoples are at fault. It tends to be that projection from my thought that I'm innocent, I don't mean to do this, I didn't do anything, it is you who did this, you provoke it, you actually did this. And that negative feelings about other is the fault of myself, because I allow other people's attitude and I allow the environment to go worse, uh, where with the faulty perceptions. So these all negative feelings are my own problems. And if you imagine that those people who do not accept the husband as it is, who do not accept the wife as it is, who do not accept boss or employee as it is with their strength and weaknesses, they they are not happy. They never accept them, and therefore they will remain in aggression, in despair, in dissatisfaction. and that's our responsibility to take charge of the situation and see and think about and tell yourself that I'm responsible for the situation. I have a capacity to fix it. I know how to fix it. And if situation is going to worse, I need to make some modification so that the situation becomes according to desire. So that's the mind blowing uh, secret we need to know, rather than to blaming the external world all the time, blaming other people, blaming other politicians, blaming to other political parties, to other countries. It is my fault that I am not able to cope the situation because I did not understand myself. I haven't discovered myself. I'm not self-aware, and that is a problem. That's why I'm blaming you. And that also happens on a nation level, unfortunately. So if Russia does not understand themselves, or they are not self-aware as a nation, so they will blame on Americans for the problems in the world. The same thing is a problem which America is blaming to the Russia. They're bringing through socialism or communism in the world. Then that is not going to help the situation. That's going to be fit in the situation. Then when we don't accept, we don't we are not self-aware about our problem, then the Pakistan and the India, the two nuclear power, will remain blame each other, and the situation becomes more severe. It also not limited, which happens in just a contemporary political world, when the Palestinian had a fight or a war against Israelis, and both sides have their own innocency, and both sides have their own agenda, and they don't want to accept each other own responsibility rather than to blame each other. So it it this thing applies right from the personal level to higher on a collective level as well, and that is a mind-blowing, life-changing dimension which I'm sharing with you. And because we don't have a power of acceptance, our fault, our own responsibility, our lack of self-awareness, and that we have always feel guilty or victim, uh, uh, and that's happened everywhere. So let's try to learn more importantly in this text what the David Hawkins is trying to say, that there is a seriousness regarding the growth of our own consciousness and self-awareness, and focus on honing means sharpening the quality of that conscious self. He is pointing out here that we haven't sharp our consciousness. Even we don't know about what is meant by consciousness. Or if we know the consciousness, the notion consciousness is on a very superficial level. You know that even a medical science, or many people in modern science, they even denying the consciousness that there is, because they only think that the brain is responsible for things, and there is nothing lies outside the brain, and therefore only brain can help us or destroy the our world or make the things worse. So the consciousness, what is this term is consciousness. Actually, this today's session is giving you a clue about consciousness is, and I will tell you, I will share with you what does it mean by consciousness. The consciousness is a notion, is a philosophical origin of everything as it is, without any layers of prejudice, without any layers of biasness or our own experiences. So the things how they are, that level of understanding uh, is our ultimate reality in our world. That is called consciousness. And that, where does it lie? It lies somewhere with us, but that's not in our brain. That is not our body. That is not our uh, emotions, or these are not our thoughts. These are not living locally in our body, in our brain. Consciousness is beyond our body, mind. It is our spirit. It is the thing which we born with, and we put hundreds and thousands of layers of our world, our things on it. So that's the consciousness. And David is emphasizing in this thing that we did not sharp it. We did not actually know it, what is a conscious, and that's a serious problem. That's why we are not growing ourselves. He further says, on this level, we may begin to develop an interest in philosophy, scientific research, and spiritual classics that explores the highest potential of human mind and spirit. He also says what becomes increasingly important is what we are becoming, not what we have or we do. So that's these are very thought-provoking and philosophical approach we are just discussing now. It's not everyday approach which we used to learn from many YouTube or YouTube videos or from the other books. It's a very deep and thoughtful reading. He also says that on this level we take on the challenge of fulfilling our greatest inner potential and nurturing the potential and dreams of others. So that's we need to realize that we are operating by our conscious. We have our own observer beyond our brain. Many people call it soul. Many people call it God or Allah or Krishna. Many people call it a spirit of life. So it could have many name of that concept. But this is not a concept like we do every day. This is just to communicate, I'm telling this concept. This is the universal and ultimate truth of this world. And this is the consciousness is an observer which is observing you, which is observing your movement, which is observing your mind, how it is thinking. And if you understand that this consciousness is within me, then you can control your thinking, you can control your body, you can control your emotion. Imagine if you have a bad emotions. Imagine if you have a faulty thoughts. How you are going to fix it? Someone must be there who can fix these thoughts, or who can use to and avoid to use these thoughts and intellect level which you have a problem with it. That is your being. That is your consciousness. And that consciousness is remains same when you actually born as a baby in your womb of your mother. When your mother gave you the birth long time ago, that consciousness is also exactly the same what you have now, right now. Because that consciousness does not change. It's the ultimate reality. But when we grow, when we do have nurturing, when we do have schooling, we do have parenting, we add so many layers on this consciousness, and that becomes so suppressed that we become absolutely unaware. And then when you got so much depression, so much mediocrity, life events, uh, you start to suffering in your life, then even you forgot completely that you are living, you born with this consciousness, and you never reconnect with that until you realize this, until some mentor or spiritual person or guru inform you, remind you, come on man, you are with your conscious. Forget about your mind, forget about your body, forget about your emotions. Let's make an attempt, make an effort to understand your suppressed conscious. And once you understand and you touch this conscious, your life start to boom. You are going to be a master of your life. You are going to know everything from scratch in a real way, in actualized way. And that is called the self-actualization as well. Because from that observer, what you are witnessing is actually you witnessing the ultimate reality. Possibly you have started to see the world from the eye of God. And that is happening with every conscious, with every soul who have capacity to sense this thing. Otherwise, you are not going to lose. You are not going to win. And you will always suffer. That was pointed out by Jesus Christ so many times in his teaching. That was pointed out Prophet Muhammad so many times in his life. That was pointed out the Buddha many times, and in Hindu and Buddhist scriptures as well, and in a modern spirituality as well. It is a ultimate fact which philosophers and philosophical scientist approach, they are witnessing that now we have to turn ourselves from our mind to the consciousness, which we are forgetting, which we are ignoring, which we are avoiding to understand, which we are avoiding to know it. So this is the good news. Because of this digital world, many people who have access to the knowledge and resources, they tend to come and know this reality. And they are becoming more spiritual. They have more control of the life. They are living longer. They are less in disease. If you see the old spiritual gurus and path and the Zen masters or the Sufis, they live 100 years. They live 90 or 100 years or even more than. They never go to hospitals because they have a master. They know they are living by their conscious. They are not living by their faulty intellect of mind. They are not living with just the books or mirroring the society. They are not living with their body, or they are not limited with the body. Even they are in at the deathbed. Uh, they are not dying, and they do not see their any disease as a suffering, because suffering is a state of mind which they have come out. So this topic which we are reading, which we are trying to understand, is the acceptance, is the very much notion, is the conscious is aware. When we live with by conscious, it means we are accepting the universal truth. We are accepting the things as it is, without any impurity, without any of mixing of the society or other thoughts. So this is the awareness which we must strive for. That is a really important and the need of our human and the mankind. We cannot survive without it now. Now we have thousands of atomic bombs, thousands of fatal diseases which we can kill anytime. Because we are away, we are not awakened. This is my call at the moment is to make you awake. This is an awakening call for you, for me as well. And good news is, in this digital world, where even we are not meeting with each other in person, we don't need to do. As far as we can understand, and we are understanding this consciousness, this soul, or this spiritual intelligence, so that we can unleash our potential without our influence of negativity or impurity, which our all roles of life are become impure, and we can start to live in our present life. We get away and kicked away our past, because past does not exist. Past is just your memories, and you are living with your memories. Have you imagined that the mad person or the crazy person who gone to the mental hospital, who lost his memory, is he not living? Do you know that he is a dead person? No, he is not. He is still living without memory. He is living without brain. What making him live? His consciousness. He somehow, or she is somehow touched with the consciousness, that consciousness making him alive in this temporary world. So that is a wake-up call for everyone. And that's we are learning this in this session, that when we have a acceptance, it means that we are touched with our consciousness. And further, it is also related with the self-healing. How people are healing themselves without any doctors. So I'm asking my Zoom audience, you are my friends for a long time. Have you seen the doctors in your country or in your village or cities? What doctors are trying to do? I'm not against doctors or medical science. I'm just telling you our reality, that how limited their knowledge or their scientific investigation or finding or outcome are. You will also understand they are so limited, even in spite of their big claims. Why they are not complete a person? Why people who are at the deathbed, they still go to church? Why they are finding the peace and their healing from the church or the masjid and the mosque or the synagogue or the temples? Why people go and meet and feel and live more decades when the doctor refused that now you are just completely and near to die? When the cancer patient are given the answer by the doctor, you are just you can live 3 years more or 3 months more, but they actually live 30 years more. What are the things they are living with? Consciousness, soul, God, or their being. They are living with their beings. They are connect with their beings. They have removed their layers of those hundreds of thousands of layers from their right childhood, and from current age they have piled up. They are chucking these layers. Even they are enlightened or not enlightened, but they have started to change the course of their life immediately. That's why the wellness field, that's why the importance of yoga in our current life. That's why the importance of prayers in our life. That's why importance of duas and our religious obligations have so much importance. Why people are fasting still? Even beyond the religious obligation, people do fasting as well. Intermediate fasting, you know that. And medical science is saying that it's so important for people's wealth, people's health, and also mind. But actually, it is more important for the people's spirit of the life. because fasting is so important that it cleans the person's, not only the body but also the mind, and eventually make that person more self-aware as well. So now the things, these curtains are coming out. The reality is more open now in today's world. So now the health issues are often considered to be the problem at the psychological, emotional, or mental level, and resources are sought and found which help to resolve the issues at all those levels. When we go to the doctor, you know that we are nowadays, unfortunately, our medical institution and hospital, they are doing great things, but I'm telling you, the mainstream medical level of treatment, what they're doing with the patient, what is happening? If you are in trouble, if you are ill, or you have some disease, or you have some symptom, you approach to the doctor that I have this problem. And how many doctors take you personally? How many doctors take you or consider you as a soul? How many doctors are taking you as a real person? Be- Very less. Why? Because doctor does not consider you as a soul or as a conscious level person. They just treating you or considering you as a body. That's how their training is. And therefore, so many ill person never been healed from the doctors. And they are healed by self help, or even they are healed with some spiritual people's company dramatically. So that is a call, that is a shout from me, from lot of people who are giving you to wake up call, to have experience the power of acceptance. Because in a spirit of acceptance, we are free to live in present life. Otherwise, we are living in our past. If you are a nation, you're still living in a present, in a past. Look at the European power. Look at the Middle East powers. Look at the Asian country. Everybody, or every country's what is called nationalism is based on their past. They have in some sort of pride that they are today because of their past. But are they really happy? Are they really what they want to do? Are there people are out of their sufferings? Are the people of the countries are absolutely delighted and happy? Whereas the reality is opposite. Because the countries have built their present based on their past, or on the death of other millions of people when they were in exist as a country or as a nation. That is not going to be perfect world. Perfect world will be those when the people are happy. And the people will really happy when they are, and they will connect with universal truths, with ultimate realities, not the fake reality, not the temporary worldly reality, not the faulty thoughts, not the weak bodies or ill bodies, not with the social mirrors, but when they will connect with the being. So That's the thing which we need to learn. So it's a last paragraph. Let's read it and we will wind up our today's session. So I would request Mike, if you can read it please for us.
Yes, in acceptance, we are free to be in the present. Once we have accepted our own true nature and the ways of the universe as they are reflected in our world, there is no longer regret about the past, nor is there fear of the future. Fear of the future no longer exists when the past has been healed. This is because in the usual ego-oriented state of consciousness, the ego tends to project the past upon the future, and the past that is viewed negatively becomes fearful when projected upon an imaginary future. Our letting go of the low energies of guilt, fear, anger, and pride has alleviated the weight of the past and cleared the doubts of the future, the clouds of the future, excuse me. We face today with optimism and are grateful to be alive. We see that yesterday is gone, tomorrow has not yet come, and we have only today. In summary, then the consciousness level of acceptance is one that we'll all long to achieve, for it enables us to find freedom from most of life's problems and experience fulfillment and happiness.
Thank you. It's a great reading. Well done. So now this is the whole situation, the whole awareness which I'm giving you just an idea that how far we are from our reality and how we are away from our conscious, our own being, and how we are connected with our superficial world and their teaching right from the schooling. And every individual has some or collection of past burden right from the childhood till current life. And based on that past experience, we project our fearful future. You know that how many countries they are piling up huge millions and billions of arsenals and bombs and missiles? Why? Because of they want to secure their future. Are they securing their future or are they destroying their future? What happens when you are securing your future by taking so many credit cards from the bank and you are becoming sort of mad that you need to be a millionaire or you must have a wealthy uh, a bank balance in order to secure your future? How many people are very secure when they have a millions pound or dollars? Or very less? Or are they confined to earn only the $1 million? Will they confined or will they satisfy on that? No. When they will have $1 million, then they are going to have a worry about earn next $1 million, and then their next goal is to become a $1 billion person. And when they become a billionaire, then they will go in the race of top 5 or top 10 richest people in the world. This race will never end because of being away from the consciousness. From thousands of years we have been away. That the Jesus Christ came to giving this wake up call to people, and then he was hanged because of this teaching, this awakening. People don't want to listen this. They see we want to be suffer. Why you want to take out from suffering. We are happy. We are happy when we will kill each other. We are happy when we bomb on other nation. We are happy when we bomb rocket on others for sake of self-defense or whatever. Why you are giving us waking up call? Why you want make us happy? We don't want to make you happy. Make ourselves happy. Please go, leave us alone. Otherwise we are going to hang you. And that's happened with Jesus Christ, who came with the will of God and want to get rid of the sufferings to the people of the world. That's happened with Buddha. That he left his palace. He was a princess. He was a prince. And then he left the palace and he went to find the truth. And he found it. And then he started to preach it and make other people aware. But few people listened to him. But millions of people were influenced by his positive and this enlightenment work which he did. That's also happened when the Prophet Muhammad came in Mecca, when the Mecca was full of bigotry, ignorance, killing, violence. Then he started to preach and gave the message of Allah, made the message of God to the people of Meccans. And then that brought the revolution in that ignorant and the darker, ever darker society. And then from there he tried to establish the message of peace. But mostly people, after that, they deny it. They did not accept it because they do not want to come out from their current sufferings. And that happened. And then after that, so many Christians tradition, Jewish tradition, Hindu tradition, Buddhist traditions, Muslim Sufi traditions establishes. And when these traditions try to help their local people, and then a majority of people, they deny them. They refuse them to follow, and they were happy and they are happy to live in their current suffered life, without a life without consciousness, a life without God, a life without ultimate reality to know, a life without self-awareness. But now the things are changing. People are coming towards truth in 21st century. The more disaster we are witnessing around us in form of war, violence, poverty, ignorance, killing each other, threatening each other on a personal level to the nation level, we are more on a spiritual level as well. We are getting rid of these our sufferings based on our past or our fearful future. We have started to live our present. Thousands of books or even millions of books and literature and audio and CDs and spiritual gurus and spiritual master, they have with millions of following, they are spreading this message. In every religion, in every spiritual path, beyond even religion. This concept is also away from the religion as well. Many people who do not believe on God, who do not believe on religion, they also follow this notion of consciousness and this reality. Why is that? Because they are human. They have a consciousness. Like I said, the ultimate reality everybody knows by when they were born. That's me and you. We make them different labels and identities. Oh, you are Muslim, you are Christian, you are Buddhist, you are atheist, you are American, you are Asian, you are African. Or further, we are doing the ethnicity division, and further city-wise division, and further language-wise division. We are making labels and identities. That's we did, and we are doing, and thinking that we know everything. We don't know. This is our old self-made world. We made labels, we made identities beyond our consciousness. For me, you are not a white person. For me, you are not a black person. For me, you don't speak English or whichever language you speak. For me, you whichever religion you follow. I don't care. If I am living by conscious, then I will see a consciousness inside you. I will not see what the skin color you have, what the masculine or feminine character you have, what the language or what the ethnicity you have. I will never care about this, because this is all fake identities and realities. I need to know you. I need to connect you beyond these identities. And here where we need to stand and where we are growing now. And I'm optimistic, I'm very hopeful that these millions and billions of followingship people will people have started, and the messages from all great people, right from the Buddha and from the Hindu Krishna and from the Prophet Muhammad and from the Jesus Christ, and from there till now, thousands of spiritual masters in their capacity, in their local or international, with international audience, they are now at the right way, which humanity has lost to follow from thousands of years before till. So this is a path of enlightenment. This is also called spiritual enlightenment. Whether you believe on God or not, whether you believe on any religion or not, still this is the only path where we as a human can survive peacefully. Otherwise, just few atomic bombs are enough to kill us everywhere in the world. Or just these type of coronaviruses are sufficient for us to end off our species from this entire planet. So you can work on your personal level. You don't need to follow America. You don't need to follow Saudi Arabia. You don't need to follow Russia. You don't need to follow China. You can follow your consciousness. You can wake up, and from there you can get everything peacefully. You can come out from this suffering where there will be no past, no fearful future. You will live with your present, with fully awareness. So, thank you. I'm sorry I've taken quite a long time of you. I appreciate your patience. So, if you have any question, then we can share with each other. Otherwise, I will conclude this session.
Thank you, Maratib.
Thank you. You're very welcome. So before just winding up this session, there are a couple of key points you can take your home. That what is my personal responsibility to practice the idea of acceptance. When we accept ourselves, others, and the world, we will releasing our true potential or full potential. We also learn how we can remove our fear of future by living in present. We also learn how we can heal our past and live in our present. We can wipe and we can completely eliminate our past if we are living and working in our present. Spiritual activities and work are so important in our life because these all works more or less they try to connect our consciousness with our current world. Otherwise, we don't know even what the meaning of consciousness is. Mostly our physiological problems or the fatal diseases are cured not by medical science now. A few cures we have, but mostly people have a willpower and they are healed with their self-healing capacity. And from there, which you have a power of acceptance and consciousness, and there are so many things in that. Power of love, also great healing. Consciousness, self-actualization are so important right from schooling. But unfortunately, our schools and colleges, they don't teach these subjects. Last but not the least, we need to develop an interest in philosophical and topics and research, scientific research, and the classical spirituality as well, so that we can live uh, with our universal truth. We can live with the truth, not with the faulty paradigms which we have. So that's all. So this series is finished. That series was acceptance. From next week, I will start a new series. If you want me to prepare some topic for you or start a new series on certain dimension or areas of life, please let me know. I have made a poll for you. I'm launching a poll just now. If you can just choose your preferences right now on your Zoom screen, it will help me to prepare the next week new series as well. I have put some couple of topics here, but you can add your topics as well. Yeah, I will just give you 1 minute. I appreciate your time. Okay, so thank you very much for joining me, and I will come next Sunday with a new topic, new series as well. So if you haven't joined my YouTube channel, you can join the YouTube channel and also my blog. I help the people, I help myself as well, and I'm trying to build a community based on universal truth, based on the truly success in this world. And you can invite your friend and family for these classes, these sessions, which are free of charge. Uh, and thank you so much for your presence. I really appreciate your time, and I value your truly humble nature. Thank you so much. See you next week.
So, I want to share a thing, if you allow.
Yeah.
According to Akkad, if life gives us a reason, 100 reasons to be sad, but we have to give 1,000 reasons to smile. So be happy. Be without a smile, life just bored and nothing without adventure. And if we become sad, so our surrounding, our people which are connected us, they also become sad. If we are happy, then people with which are connected with us, they also become happy. So we have to a reason to be a smile of million of, to be million of smiles.
Absolutely. Wonderful message, Javeria, we received. Amazing thought.
I love it. Oh my gosh, that made me smile, Javeria.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for it's a great message. I'm sure many readers and watchers, they have received your message. It's a great message. Thank you very much, and I appreciate again. See you next Sunday. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good rest of the day, everybody.
The recording has stopped.